Welcome to Behind the Curtain IMO. I'm Betsy Jordan. A few months ago, Elon Musk endorsed Donald Trump. Now, we can thank Elon for several things. New innovations in the marketplace, some recent innovations in space, travel, and research and exploration. These are things we know him for. We know him for Tesla. We know him to be a brilliant business person who has become one of the wealthiest men in the world. He may be the wealthiest man now. And that's given a lot of young men hope, frankly, who are looking to emulate him. But just like, it takes a certain skill set to become adept at certain things or certain talents, doesn't necessarily mean that the best business person is also the best leader. Though he has had to lead by example within his company, it doesn't mean he has the requisite sensitivities to run a democracy or to be someone who could be in a mentorship position for people who are going to lead the masses. There are some things that concern me personally. This is all in my opinion, about Elon and his attitude toward his children, and his attitude toward his wife, those things of character that are really important when it comes to making decisions that are critical to the well-being of our country. In other words, I wouldn't want Elon Musk to have his hand on the trigger of anything. And his desire to return us to a world of apartheid, which is a world he wished he could go back to, is concerning. There's another thing, and I've alluded to this before in a video before, about four men who are shaping the world. And the book is called The End of Reality, and it is about Andreessen, Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, and Mark Zuckerberg, and how they are on each other's boards in Silicon Valley. And it is known that their views, or in a couple of their views, they're all on each other's boards, right? That the next evolution that human beings are going to become obsolete. And so Peter Thiel particularly is studying transhumanism. So why would they be interested in social issues? They're not. So they can say anything, how immigration is hard for us, or how climate change is a hoax, or whatever, because to them it's moot. It's a moot point anyway. So AI, while it may be concerning because it leads to machines talking to one another and evolving together, and then you can't stop that evolution, where there's no control. Regulation of that kind of thing is not something that they're particularly focused on. Now, is it government's role to regulate industries like that? Yeah, I think so. But if the very people who are inventing those things are not seeking to regulate them themselves, then we do have a problem. Now, I'm not preaching doom and gloom here, but I'm saying that there is a way to work together, but you have to have people at the top who have the kind of leadership skills that bring people together and they have a big tent. I don't see that in Zuckerberg or Andreessen or Thiel or Musk. They're not looking to necessarily bring people together, all different kinds of people anyway. They're seeking to evolve their own businesses and their own creative ideas, and do that in a way that makes them money and makes them oligarchs, potentially. And I don't say that word lightly. I think that there is, or are, agreements out there between wealthiest of the wealthy, and particularly in Russia. Dan Coates came out, a former official that served with Donald Trump, and said that he felt like Russia was blackmailing the president. And I don't know why we wouldn't believe him, why we wouldn't believe people that are the closest to Trump and to Musk and to people who do business with them all the time, who wouldn't know and be saying the truth that Elon Musk has our defense contracts, our satellite contracts, and oligarchs. It's an aspirational thing for Elon. So I'm not wanting to discredit the man for the things that we can be grateful to him for, but I am saying I don't share his politics or his political views, because he's really coming at it from a very different place, a very different motivation, or as we say in the industry that I've been working in, coaching industry, the music behind his words is that he wants to be as powerful as his money makes him. And so he'll go after whatever avenue he wants to explore, which we've been beneficiaries of, and also we could pay a very high price. Recently, I've noticed that there's some people who've jumped on the bandwagon, which really aren't surprises to anyone if you really think about it. The New York Post reversed their endorsement, but endorsing Biden last time made sense for white males of a certain age. Now, it makes sense for them to reverse that because it is clear that the distinction between the world that Kamala would bring us into and continue the path of serving the people is a pathway that doesn't necessarily honor the tales or the successes or woes of the past. And Rupert Murdoch's organization, which the New York Post is part of, is really all about the past. And so when we know that the candidate that they have endorsed is unwell and unfit and just unprepared and unready, not fit for the office of presidency, given his latest performance, the refusal to debate Kamala at the end of this month. None of it makes sense if you look at somebody who's got the ambition of serving again. So when I talk to you about Elon Musk and I talk to you about his desire to be oligarchy and to support the oligarchy, and that he's not really going to be concerned with social considerations, it's because they really think that we're going to move toward a transhumanist world where we are all AI. And some of those folks who are thinking in that arena are also thinking we're part of a virtual reality. They may or may not be right, but what we have is a circumstance where we have a government that serves the American people, and we'd like to keep it continuing to serve American people no matter what evolution we come into. And that's going to mean that we are protective of our freedoms and the ability for people to make individual choices in their lives. This has been Behind the Curtain IMO. Thank you for being here.